Welcome to this explainer. Let's just jump right in. Today, we're gathering around a sort of metaphorical campfire to explore a really beautiful foundational philosophy, the custodian's path. It's all about how we hold and share cosmic truths without letting our human egos or that stubborn need to be right get in the way. We're going to look at how to be clear vessels for profound information, maintaining total freedom and non-ego as we navigate the journey of truth.
Okay, so let's dive into this beautiful idea. Our sources suggest that in this physical illusion we live in, we experience lack, right? Naturally, we have this deep, almost primal instinct to guard the precious things that sustain us. But here's the twist. A custodian isn't some power-hungry gatekeeper. Not at all. Instead, they're more like a humble guardian tending to a dark, quiet archive of divine information. Their whole job is just to protect those waters of life so they stay pristine and, most importantly, freely available for anyone who happens to be thirsty.
Just look at the sheer scale of the cosmos here. It is a vast, literally unexplainable mystery. And enlightenment isn't something you can just force on somebody else. It's a sudden opening to intelligent infinity that happens in a flash, in the moment. The staggering reality of what's out there contrasts perfectly with our own humble earthly role down here. We absolutely cannot offer a shortcut to this vastness. No way. All we can do is offer information, maybe some inspiration, and share the mystery, hoping it might just prompt someone to kickstart their own journey.
So what exactly does it mean to be a custodian? Well, to truly grasp the information we explore, we have to understand this role. A custodian is a protector of precious things, who serves essentially as an empty vessel. The deepest joy here doesn't come from some strained, ego-driven attempt to go out and fix people. It actually comes from pure emptiness, the kind you only arrive at when you truly step out of your own way. You're not wielding authority over anyone's spiritual path. You are simply offering a pure, unattached gift.
Now, what's really interesting here is how it contrasts the defended self with the state of non-ego. When we operate defensively, even with the absolute best intentions, it is so easy to slip into spiritual pride. We start thinking, oh, I am the one searching. I am becoming the best, and boom, up go the defensive barriers. On the flip side, the state of non-ego is utter passivity. But hey, don't mistake that for weakness. It's actually incredibly powerful. By subtracting everything that stands between your consciousness and the great mystery, you step aside. You become the most accurate, clear mirror a spiritual seeker could ever hope to find.
But hold on. The sources gently remind us of something crucial. The ego isn't evil. We shouldn't attack it. Actually, the ego is a highly useful fiction. It's a defense mechanism, a separator. Without it, you would frankly become the proverbial doormat of this physical chemical universe. I mean, if you tried to completely abolish your ego while waiting in line at the grocery store, you probably wouldn't get very far, right? So keep your protective coloration. Use your ego to navigate the modern world, but then just let it be quiet. Let that divine information flow through without letting the ego convince you of its limitations.
So once we've tapped into this cosmic truth, how do we actually go about sharing it? We use what the sources brilliantly call the Johnny Appleseed principle. You don't grab the world by the shoulders and yell, "Listen to me, I have the answers." Actually, doing that is service to self because it completely ignores the other person's free will. Instead, we are just dropping seed. We leave the information out there in the archive, waiting patiently for it to be found by someone who feels a genuine internal spiritual impulse to go looking for it.
And that brings us to an absolutely foundational rule here: sharing without coercion. We're talking about a dispassionate sharing of information without stressing over huge numbers or rapid growth. The sources tell us that if you reach even one person, you reach all. Think of it like being on a boat in a huge ocean. You might have amazing advice about navigating by the stars for a stranger on a nearby boat, but you definitely shouldn't shout at them unless they ask. We offer this divine information freely for your human journey as a pure gift, trusting entirely in the natural rhythm of your own life. Let's pause and look at these suns for a second. Imagine two planetary bodies orbiting a massive central sun. That sun shines equally on everyone, right? And this is the absolute key. Each of us views that central truth from an entirely unique position in our own orbit. We are all warmed by it, but from our own distinct angle. That is exactly why we can only offer the fruit of our own unique experience. I can't hand you your truth, I can only offer you the view of the sun from my orbit.
Because we all have that unique orbit, we have got to actively resist the deeply human temptation to create dogma.
As one of our sources, Carla, so perfectly put it, people want to make a dogma out of things because they desperately want to be right. They try to shrink the vast, infinite creator down into a tidy, rigid, one-size-fits-all box. But the creator is like a giant barn with room for all kinds of wild considerations. By refusing to accept a stifling dogma, we preserve the absolute freedom of every single seeker to find their own way. And because of that freedom, our sources are super clear. They do not want blind followers. In fact, they want you to fight with this information, question it, doubt it, work with it, and make it your own. Truth is a highly personal thing that is constantly evolving. What's true for you today might not make sense tomorrow. So here is our core rule. We give you complete permission. We enthusiastically encourage you, actually, to walk away and lay aside absolutely anything that isn't helpful. This mindset directly builds your own power of discernment. Look, you've been given the gifts of intellect and discrimination by a kind creator, so use them. Let's remember, there are no authorities here. The beings offering this information continuously remind us that they are entirely fallible. They are literally just fellow students sharing opinions on the path. You have your own unique incarnational pattern with natural tides and rhythms. The right information is going to find you exactly when you need it. If there's no deep inner resonance, just leave it behind. As we sit in the quiet of this archive processing all of this, I want to ask you directly, borrowing a gentle question from the Federation of Light, what is your intention right now, in this exact moment? If you closed your eyes, what would your wish be? Your power to manifest reality is immense. How you choose to feel about anything affects the whole, because as the text boldly states, you are the whole. So concentrate solely on what makes you feel good. Focus on what brings your soul true joy.
Now, I know sometimes the cosmic details can go right over our heads. Karma, densities, energetic shifts, it can all feel like a giant, overwhelmingly complex puzzle. But in the face of these unexplainable cosmic phenomena, the sources remind us of a deeply grounded truth. When in doubt, just go back to the simple and most gratifying knowing of loving. Just be love in your immediate surroundings. If you do that, all the complex, dizzying cosmic logistics basically just take care of themselves. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final thought. You and only you are the ultimate architect and arbiter of your own journey. The divine information is out there, it's free of dogma, and it is offered entirely without coercion. The seeds have been dropped on the path. So the real question is, will you trust yourself enough to pick up only the seeds that make your heart sing? Will you leave the rest in the dark earth and walk boldly forward into your own unique orbit?